division, and I'm going to give myself some more space. It's a long problem. So to do that, I'm going to have my 21 p to the 4th minus 63 p cubed and don't forget to put the smaller thing on the outside. Get it in. Now we only focus on saying 7p times what gives me 21p to the 4. So I don't know if you remember this, but I put like a little open circle here and I said this thing times 7p has to give me 21p to the 4th. So what number times 7 gives me 21? Yeah, just 3. And then I say p to the what power times p gives me p to the 4th. Well, remember our rule that if you have p to the 5th times p squared, that's going to be p to the 7th because we do 5 plus 2 is 7. So I'm trying to think of something with a p in it, and I can think of this as p to the 1st if you want. P to the what power times 7p to the 1st power will give me p to the 4th. What's that number going to be?
4.
Well, 4 plus 1 would give me
3.
5. Yeah, so it's going to be a p to the 3rd power. And our next step in this is going to be to multiply that top circled term by both of these things. So 3p cubed times 7p to the 1st is a perfect match. Put the thing above it. Okay, now I have to do the other one too. So I say 3p cubed times a negative 7 is going to give me what? I totally just took a bunch of and I got it out of here. All right. Do you remember what the next step is? If we're doing normal division, we subtract now. And so we're going to actually subtract down. But you remember what we have to be careful about? Yeah, both of them, exactly. So I have to put this minus here, and then what do I do to this? Change it to a plus. So now what happens with these two terms? They cancel. And now we're doing negative 63p cubed plus 21p cubed. I don't know. 53? 42.
Yeah, 42.
Negative 42? You guys say 42? Yeah. It's just like a little too early and also kind of like a Monday. Negative 42p cubed. So don't forget your p cubed. That's like saying negative 63 apples plus 21 apples. Okay, our next step is going to be to, remember my rap song? Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. So it's going to be a plus 56p squared. And we're at the stage now where we start all over again. It's like nothing new now. It's just the new process. So I say to myself, what am I going to put here So that this times 7p to the first gives me negative 42p cubed. Minus 6. Okay, and then I need a p to the first times something to give me p cubed. So p to the squared. Yeah, p squared. P to the second. And if you're not sure why, because 2 plus 1 gives me 3. So my next step is going to be that multiplying step, but I have to do it to both, right? So I'm going to do negative 6p squared times a 7p to the first is the perfect match. And a negative 6p squared times a negative 7, is that a 42p squared?
Yes.
You should never trust me. I believe I am right. Okay, Hugo reminded us, what do we have to do with the signs here?
Switch.
Yep, change them. So this minus becomes a plus, this plus becomes a minus. What happens with our minus 42p cubed and our positive 42p cubed? And now we've got 56 tomatoes minus 42 tomatoes. What is that, 14? So it'd be 14, no?
Yeah.
Okay, and now we do our wrap. I like that this is like my symbol for wrap, because the rappers do that. I'll never do that again. That was a once in a lifetime. Alright, plus 7p. Dropping it like it's hot. Alright, so now we say to ourselves, we put our little circle thing here. You don't have to put that circle, that's just for me to kind of visually say this times this needs to give me that. What's that going to be? 2. Yep, 2. Yeah. And then what's the p going to be? Yeah, just p, right? Because p times p is going to give me p squared. And don't forget to put like if it's positive or plus there. All right, so now we need to multiply that by both. So this 2p times 7p gives me a 14p squared. 2p times negative 7 gives me a negative 14p. Change the signs for both. So it becomes a minus plus. This disappears and I'm left with, what is that, 21p? Drop down to minus 21. Does that bother you that it's curved? Okay. All right, last step is going to be to try to get that exactly, and we may or may not. But this times 7p, I want to get a 21p. That's just which number? Yeah. So 3 times 7p is going to be 21p. 3 times a minus 7. So minus 21. Change. Both of these things cancel and we have a 0, meaning that we have no remainder. What's that?
All the work before 0.
Well, kind of. All that work to say that our answer is this top solution with a remainder of 0. So our answer to this divided by that would be 3p cubed minus 6p squared plus 2p plus 3. Sweet. All right, what I'd like you to do is get your packet out. We're going to do one more problem together. It's going to be one of the problems. Packet. Does anyone need an extra copy? I do have a bunch of packets here. No big deal if you lost it.